recording of the meeting. And this is a Community Preservation Committee meeting, and it's April 29th, 2025. And I'm Ann Mazar, the chair of the committee, and I represent the Land Use Committee. Dan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Dan Byer, the Parks Commission.
Mike Goddard.
Mike Goddard, Select Board.
Peter.
Peter Denton, Housing Authority.
So last night, or at 5, we attended the Upton Community Preservation Committee meeting, and they agreed, or they are willing to put in $100,000 towards the sports fields per year for approximately to cover the debt if this passes at town meeting for the sports fields. Did you want to add anything, Dan or Mike? Oh, there's Barry.
I don't really have anything to add.
Oh, Barry and Kathy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Kathy Schofield
Hi.
from Historic and Barry from Planning Board. Okay, so this is everyone now except for Mike Amendolia. I was just saying that we attended, several of us attended the Upton Community Preservation Committee, and they decided that they are going to vote at their town meeting, or suggest to their town meeting that they would put up to $100,000 per year for the debt on the school fields if that passes at town meeting. So Mike, Dan, or Kathy, is there anything else that you want to add about that meeting, or?
No, I mean,
there was a lot of discussion,
yeah.
variations, but that's definitely where they landed.
Yeah.
I think there were some ideas that might, in the future to think about, but I think in the short term, it would make sense to have a commitment from both towns.
Barry?
Is that prorated according to the number of students that are attending the school from each town? Or is that an even split?
What it was decided was that since the debt is going to be based on enrollment, each town would put forth up to 100,000 that made sense. And so for Mendon we would put up 100,000, and it would just relieve the tax burden on Mendon tax payers. I don't know, Mike, you can explain it better.
Well, no, I think you got it. Barry, the amount of the debt will be prorated based on the school, the location, and the enrollment at those specific schools. So the bill we get will be prorated. And I think what we're just saying is we're willing to allocate up to $100,000 to cover our portion, which is a prorated bill, to cover that debt obligation, to lessen the tax burden.
Right. All right.
Peter, do you have any questions?
No, I
comments?
like Mike's observation in that the debt is what's prorated. What each town wants to contribute to it is each town's business. They don't have to be a proration on the Community Preservation Committee. Preservation helping out.
I think we want to sort of show unified support initially, but Mendon's finances and how Mendon chooses to cover Mendon's debt obligation ultimately is Mendon's call. But to start, we're in a very common place.
Sounds good.
So if each town puts 100,000 in, when does that pay off the debt for what they're trying to accomplish?
I think they're not sure how long the debt would be. I think
it's a 20-year term.
Years.
Yeah.
So it's 100,000 a year for 20 years.
So this is Barry where it'll get interesting because, for instance, FY 26, the debt will be de minimis. We actually probably won't have a payment per se. It's a very small amount. And I think Dan referenced this, that going forward, we might have different ways to approach it. Where do we actually put $100,000 into an account for the purposes of debt obligation, and then it's drawn down as needed? Or every year we'll take a vote, or do we every year we put in an amount that is needed, right, for that particular time? I guess what we're trying to tell the town is this committee, if we vote positively, is willing to allocate up to $100,000 annually to reduce the debt, tax payment.
All right, so if there comes a year where we don't have the 100,000 because the state didn't give us a big allocation or something, and we don't have to give 100,000, right?
We're gonna have to vote this every year in, I think, right? So if
Yeah,
there's
I mean, that's-
extenuating circumstances, Barry, because the
Right.
state reneges, I
Yeah.
think the townspeople will understand, this is a good faith vote to say, we think it's the right thing to do to help defray cost. If something changes in the future, if we revoke, so God forbid, we actually repeal our CPA, and, if we stop the surcharge, that would be another reason, but the townspeople would have voted to repeal the surcharge, therefore we can't be held accountable for 100,000. We're not guaranteeing 100,000. If we have it, we'll give it.
Okay, all right.
let me read the motion.
I'll
It
agree
would
with that.
be, oh, what, Barry?
I'll agree with that.
Okay, so the motion would be, I move that the town transfer up to $100,000 from the community preservation budgeted reserve account to fund a portion of the fiscal 2026 Mendon Upton Regional School District debt associated with outdoor recreation fields. Would someone like to make that
So moved.
motion? Okay,
Second,
so. Okay, more discussion?
Yeah, I just want to Barry's question too. I just want to, I mean, I think this is, I say it's good faith, but I personally have every intention that we would do this because we're asking the voters to make a financial commitment based on this idea. And I would probably want to make sure that that's understood on the floor. We have every intention of doing that as needed. So it's, we all won't be here potentially for the 20 years. I assume we will all not be on this committee in 20 years. So that committee may change their minds, but to the extent we can make the promise or the good faith gesture, the idea is that is $100,000 annually for the debt obligation.
yeah, I'll agree with
Do-
that. I mean, I'll be here for another 5 anyway.
I'd argue, I mean, like a
Do we-
significant portion of this project is eligible, so I think, we certainly should attempt to contribute some amount to it.
Yeah, and I think the good thing is
Do we
that,
have- Do we
people are
have the
saying when-
number?
go on, Peter.
Do we have, do we have the number for fiscal 26 that they're looking for yet? Meaning the debt for the fields.
No, I'd say the FY 26, Peter, it's going to be like short-term instruments. It's really de minimis.
So
I
basically,
would say.
the amount that we're going to appropriate for fiscal year 26 hasn't been established yet, correct?
Well, I think we're going to appropriate 100,000. It may not be spent, I think might be the way to look at it. Is that fair, Ann, with this vote?
Yeah, well, it sounds like, it sounds like we are, like in talking about the good faith, that it would be 100,000 that we would put forward this year, but it might go in an account to be spent like next year. Because the work that they do each year is going to be different amounts of money that would be used. But what we're saying is that we would pay 100,000 each year, kind of on average.
So looking at what we have on hand and what we got coming in with our debt right now as it stands, if we take 100,000 and put it towards this, along with the police station debt and the other things we got going. So where are we gonna stand? Are we gonna be good as far as having money to do other things?
We will. So
Okay.
we get about $650,000 a year, and that increases each year. And so we pay about 130,000 towards police debt, so this would be another 100,000. So that'd be 250,000, so we would still have 400,000 plus what we have in the bank right now. And in the CPC account, like right now, we have 1.5 million. So,
Okay.
and also the police debt is done in
4 or 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in 8 years. So that would drop.
I think the other thing to consider, and I think we talked about 2 things we talked about in the last meeting, Barry, was that when we came up to the 100,000, we said we don't want to exceed the police debt, but we also just came to that number just based on the surcharge, regardless of the state match. And I think we thought we would be able to support it just with the straight surcharge to the taxpayer.
Right.
So I think we got buffer, and if we allocate this type of fund, these funds to this debt obligation, it does actually free up potentially other debt obligations if we do move forward on other projects in the future. So that can't use CPA funds. So we're sort of, I think I sent this to Mike, was that if we allocate, we can defray the debt obligation by using CPC funds for this project, we might be in a better position to take on debt down the road for a senior center, which is not as eligible, if you will, for CPA funds.
Yeah, okay. I just didn't want to get in a situation where we were running ourselves tight.
Right. And I think
Okay.
also what's nice about this is that, people have said they need recreation fields
There's no doubt,
and, excuse me?
there's no doubt we need fields.
Yeah, so it's nice to do it more collaboratively, like with Upton and have it be a larger project. So it's not really just us doing it because the school district would be putting in, money too, and Upton. It'd be more of a regional project.
So we have a motion and a second.
Yeah, any more discussion? All right. All of those in favor, Dan,
Dan, I.
Michael,
Goddard, aye.
Peter,
Yep, yes.
Barry,
Ida Roller, aye.
Kathy,
Kathy, I.
and Mazar, aye. Okay. Would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
That's it.
So moved.
Second.
Second,
All those in favor, Dan,
I.
Michael,
Goddard, aye.
Peter,
aye.
Barry,
Ida Roller, aye.
Kathy,
I.
and I. All right, so we will see you maybe at the town meeting on Friday night, hopefully.
I'm guessing.
I'm gonna be out of town.
Uh,
Anna, you gonna, have you been asked to attend the FinCom pre-meeting?
yes, so I said I would go at 6:30.
I'm probably gonna sit in on it as well, because I wanted to see if they'd revisit the BVT question as well.
Okay,
So I'll see you then.
okay,
All right.
Night.
bye-bye.
Good night.
Everyone. Good
What,
night.
Kathy?
Yeah.
I said thank you for all the work.
Have a good night.
Night.
You
Take care,
too.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.